and good morning to you all. Another broadcast on child right protection and welfare. As I said last week on my last broadcast that this week I'll be talking about the advanced strategies in child right protection. So that is what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, what are these advanced strategies? They are policies, laws, and regulations that have been put in place to promote and encourage and protect the rights of a child. And why I say they are advanced strategies, it is because they have to do with international conventions and treaties on the rights of a child. So they are advanced, they are global laws, policies, and regulations that have been stipulated to be implemented for the well-being and safety of the overall right of the child. So there are several international conventions and treaties on child rights. For you to understand these conventions and treaties at its core, you have to know that there are international conventions and there are formal agreements between countries, and they are set to shared principles, goals, and responsibilities in the sphere of child rights. And these conventions serve as a beacon guiding national policies and practices to align with universally accepted standards. So one of the conventions is the Convention on the Rights of the Child, which is the CRC. It is amongst the most prominent and comprehensive treaties. So in this field, it is the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, and it is also, you can shorten it as CRC, and it was established back in the year 1989. So what I'm trying to say is that child right protection didn't start today. Child right laws, child right policies have been implemented years back. So the CRC covers a broad spectrum of rights that are specifically designated for children. That is what they do. And these rights include the fundamental entitlements such as access to education, protection from violence and exploitation, and even the right to engage in play. Yesterday I saw a social media post of somebody showcasing a child of about 14 or 13 years thereabouts, saying, "My house help." So a lot of people make comments out of ignorance towards a particular post, why a lot of people who are equipped like us trying to educate the people that this is not right. How do you harbor a child to be your house help? That is the job, or that is a paid job, house help or maid, domestic staff. Those positions, those responsibilities, and the responsibility that come with it are meant to be paid job for adults, not children. The responsibility that comes with being a house help, being a maid, are not for kids. They are jobs, and you don't employ a child for such. If you do, you are simply exploiting that child. But CLC has put in place that such acts, it's an offense. Because those are the things. So a lot of people saw it as this little girl was brought from the less privileged family to a more privileged family just to serve as a house help. So people say the owner, the person harboring that child in the house has done the family a great advantage, but without even knowing what could be the heavy responsibilities that this child could be carrying. What are the deprivations? Is she having access to quality education? Is she protected from violence? And does she even have time to play? Because it is the right of a child to engage in play with their peers, you know. So those are the things. And the CLC has some key highlights. One of the key highlights is universality. The CLC near universally ratified with only a few countries yet to commit. This thing has gone universally, that is just maybe probably the underdeveloped country with, you know, lack of access to information are yet to be committed to these principles, these laws that governs the rights of a child. Almost all the countries are members of the CLC, and you must know that. The next is they have this comprehensive rights. The policies consist of comprehensive rights. So the convention categorized rights under 3 pillars. There are 3 pillars of the CLC, you know, child right law. Number 1 is provision. They stated that provision, that every child must have rights to basic needs. And what are the basic needs? If you go to my YouTube, I have explained the basic needs of the child. Under comprehensive rights, protection is one of them. That means every child has the right to be safeguarded from harm. No child should be harmed, no child should be exposed to harm of any kind, be it physically, emotionally, or psychologically, or mentally, even spiritually. Like I went through some spiritual abuse, spiritual deprivation, and all that. Yes, I like to add that on because it is what I experienced. I know where it hits me. I know the disadvantage of what that it laid on me when I experienced it. Then under comprehensive rights, every child has the right to participate. That is, this ensures that children's voices are heard. They participate in decision making that affects their lives. I have said all this because this is the last teaching for this topic, this particular course. So I'm likely to be referring you to all the past videos I have made. So you get that on YouTube, okay? So the next key highlights under CLC is monitoring mechanism. The Committee on the Rights of the Child monitors the implementation of the CLC, and they offer guidance for member states. Yes, they watch over. That is why you will see in some states, especially in Nigeria, some child right law has been implemented. I know of Lagos State very well. Some child right law have been implemented because the CLC committee are monitoring the state members and how they carry out child rights protection in their individual nations. And there are also other notable treaties beyond the CLC. Several other international instruments. There are several other international instruments that are fortified with child right protection. Number one is the optional protocol to the CLC. Under this address specific issues like the involvement of children in armed conflicts, the sale of children. Children are not for sale, for God's sake. They are not merchandise. And also child prostitution. This addresses that. And also child pornography, exposing children to sexual activity, sexual objects, sexual environment. So the optional protocol to CLC has implemented law against this act being carried out on children. And the next other notable treaties is the Hague Convention. They specifically focusing on inter-country adoption, ensuring that it takes place in the best, only in the best interest of the child. So in inter-country adoption, in the context of child right protection, it is referred to the legal process where a child is adopted by parents from another country, crossing national borders. So it is guided by international child protection laws to ensure that the adoption serves the best, I highlighted this, the best interest of the child, and to prevent exploitation. That is the only reason for adopting these children. And what this means is that is definition that the adoption is when inter-country adoption is when a child is permanently placed with adoptive parents who live in a different country than the child's country of origin. Like the child is being adopted from Nigeria, probably to US or the United Kingdom or other African country, and the child rights perspective is that the United Nations on the right of children emphasizes that every child has the right to grow. Let's say in a country where this child is, there are no basic things that will help the child to grow. And since the law has implemented that it is the right of every child to grow, a parent from another country can adopt this set of children to give them the environment that will help them grow. So every right has on the basis that every right has a right to grow in a family and environment, and whenever possible be cared for by their own family. So when you adopt, when they adopt these children practically become part of their family. They're not going there to serve. They're not going there to be exploited or abused and all that. So that is the only thing that is permitted. All these people that are carrying young children to go and do house help, we are exploiting them. To go and do nanny job like myself, we are exploiting them. Those are not the responsibility of a child. Those are not. We are exploiting these children. So inter-country adoption is considered only when suitable care cannot be found in the child's home country, like I said earlier. And let's bring it home. The reason, like in my case, the only reason why I could leave my family house, my biological home, was lack of resources to further my education. for better education. That was the only reason why. And that is also the only reason why some parents let their children out of their houses. And I want to tell you that if you want to help any child from a vulnerable family or the less privileged family, they are not your house help. If you are blessed financially, because most time it's financial, and then lack of resources to raise these children. If you are blessed, like I once told someone that you feel that one of your family members is having issues in her marriage and she has a child, and you want to go and bring this child into your home and look at your living condition. Are you capable of caring for this child the proper way? I told this person, leave this child with the mother. She'll be fine. You don't have what it takes to send this child to the best school. You are going through your own challenges at the moment. All you will end up doing is to just take out your frustration on the child. So there's no need, you are not helping. So if you pick up any child at all under your roof, be sure you are going to take care of this child like your children. They will go to the same treatment you are giving to your children must go to that child, and make sure you are capable. If you are not, please leave the child where they are. Let people that are capable or the NGO pick up these children, because sometimes the parents of these children are no more. They've lost them due to one thing or the other. For instance, in the warring country, personal people shouldn't pick up these children to go and exploit them. Let the law enforcement agencies do that, and let the people who have the heart to raise these children as their own do that. So a child will only leave his or her country to another place, or his or her family to another family, when they are not suitable care found among where this child is from. Another one is that when adopting a child, you have to make sure that they are safeguarded. They are safeguarded. That is what the Hague Convention on Inter-Country Adoption, established in 1993, stated, which states the set standard to prevent child trafficking. It is not adopting a child to come live with you. Is not a medium of you trafficking this child for your own selfish interests. And sometimes parents even do this. You will send your little child out to go work as a domestic staff somewhere so that they can be paying you some stipends, without even knowing what that child will go through. You sell out your child. You traffic that child. They also implement again exploitation or coercion of birth parents. You force the parents of the child to take the child from them because you feel you are supposed to help. You are not meant to cause more problem than they already lack in a family is a problem. Bad health issues of the child, of the parents of the child is a problem. Substance abuse that the parents might need treatment such as rehab or any other help is a problem already in the life of the child. Taking a child away from their biological parents is a problem already. It's already a traumatizing situation. So you don't add to it. So if you want to help, you help. So that when the owner of the child look, the person will like, oh, thank God this person showed up. And then there should be transparency. The law also implemented that there should be transparency in the documentation. Everything should be documented. For instance, it was verbally, my mom was verbally told that I'll be given a quality education, to go to a good school. So when that failed, there was nothing to hold, and the middle person passed on along the line through diabetes, and there was nobody to speak. Then my mom too. So I and my sister actually have nothing to hold that this is what you say you do for this girl. we have nothing to hold against the people that exploited, and deprived me as a child. So everything, that is why the head law, that everything has to be transparent and then documented. There should be a legal oversight and ethical practices when adopting a child from his or her biological family. So the thing is that, knowing all these things, I'm just like, I wish I knew. That's why I'm telling you, so that you will know. There must be a legal document. Everything must be transparent. And all this knowledge, you have to know them. And there are the key principles. Let's talk about the key principles in child right protection. Number one, I've said it before, it came out again, is that it must always be the best interest of the child. Adoption must prioritize the child's welfare, not the desires of the adoptive parents. Not because you are looking for someone that will come and run errands for you, like I told that individual. I know you are looking for someone that will come and be running around for you. It's not this little child of 5 years old you go and bring. If you bring this child, you are bringing a responsibility. You are bringing extra expenses. You become a parent. So it is not because you are looking for someone that will come and do work for you in your house. It shouldn't be at you, the adoptive parent. It shouldn't be at your own selfish desire, because that's selfish. The next key principle is subsidiarity principle. Domestic solution. There should be domestic solution. That means there should be family bonding. You should bond with the family. They are part of your family. They are part of your family. Equal rights. If you can't do that, please leave that child. You are not helping. Foster care. Local adoption. This must be considered before inter-country adoption can take place. Anything outside that is child right exploitation. The next key principle is protection against harm. You are bringing this child to be protected. You safeguard this child from anything that will violate them. You prevent unethical practices such as child sale. You are selling children. Look at it now. You are selling a whole human being. Abduction, falsification of documents, or bribery. You shouldn't be on that at all. There's what we call in Nigeria mago. It shouldn't be under mago. There should be transparency. Another one is cultural consideration. Yes, everybody have their own cultural background. Adoption should respect the child's identity. Should respect. For instance, I remember I came from a Christian home, then to where I was brought to even worship a human being. When they begin to introduce me, for instance, wearing their uniform, I said I wouldn't want to wear. I was forced. That means you forced me to believe in what you are worshiping. You forced me to believe in your doctrine. I said no, I will not. They gave me what they call feast. At first, I said I will not eat. I was threatened. I said I will not wear that white clothes. I was threatened. Sometimes I said I will not go to that. On Sunday I will not go. I was threatened all my life. So that shouldn't be. The child has a lineage. It has a cultural background. It has a family. It has a family. So this shouldn't be aborted out of their life. Their heritage and cultural background should be respected and considered. Though the international conventions and treaties, the international laws, policies that have put this in place, there are still risks and challenges when it comes to implementing these laws and principles. Number one is on ethical practices. There are still some weak procedures that have led to child trafficking up to today and exploitation. And you must be vigilant to know Number one is loss of cultural identity. Some students don't know where they come from again. They don't know their background. They don't even know their lineage anymore. Children may face challenges integrating into new cultures. They are trying to force them. Let them learn at their space. Let them understand that you come from here, but you still need to learn from it because it's ethical. Another one is legal complexities. Different cultures have varying adoptions laws, which can complicate the process sometimes. So in summary on inter-country adoption in child rights protection, it is about balancing the need for children to grow in a safe, loving family with strict safeguard to ensure the process is ethical, legal, and truly in the child's best interest. That is what adoption, taking a child from their biological family, from their country to another country, it should be all about. It should be about the child, the best interest of the child. That is it about the inter-country adoption under the Hague Convention. Then we have the ILO Convention. This aims at the prohibition and immediate action for the elimination of the worst forms of child labor. This speaks against child labor. And this is why this international law matters. So why the national laws are paramount? International conventions hold a distinctive significance. One of the significance of the international law is that they set universal standard. You must know this. There's a universal standard of child rights protection. And this standard provides a benchmark for countries. They ensure that child rights don't vary vastly across borders. That is why all countries must be members, must adopt it. They promote collaborations. They promote collaborations. That is, countries that are members can learn from each other. They share best practices and innovations. I talk about the best practices of child rights protection in my last video. The next one is accountability mechanism. Regular reviews of national progress. They look into it and challenges. They look into it. What are the challenges? How are they progressing in raising their children? And this also facilitates the system of accountability and encouraging nations to prioritize child protection. That is what the international laws and principles do. So the national laws and policies pertaining child protection. What are these national laws? And I have a note for you here that national policies and initiatives are the mainstay of child protection mechanism. So international conventions and treaties, they offer the global perspective. They remind us that the rights of children, their protection and well-being are not just national concern, but universal imperatives. So it's a universal thing. It's not just for a particular country alone. So I want to talk about the national laws and policies. What are the national laws and policies pertaining child protection? Because child protection, as crucial as it isn't exclusively the domain of international conventions. So it is how each country translates these laws and implements them and enforce them that really matters. That is it working in the life of children, or are there still children perishing in pain and abuse and all that? So that is why the national law and policy provide the practical framework to ensure children's safety and well-being within the boundaries of a specific country. So they capture unique socio-cultural nuances and address challenges specific to any region at all. For instance, in some African countries where there are wars everywhere, are this country really, interpreting these laws? Are they really translating this global principle into their local policies? Why are children still perishing? That's what we're saying. Here in Nigeria, we know very well a lot of children are still undergoing the pain of domestic staffs, the pain of hugging on the streets, the pain of exploitation and being sold, sometimes by their family, the pain of being used for all manners of activities just for an adult to get paid. And the system doing anything about it? Despite the above laws, are we doing anything about it down here? And you have to know that every nation approaches child protection in a different way. Number one, this is how they fabricate the natural law and child protection law. They would consider the cultural beliefs, social, economic, and historical context of their environment. But even as that, there are still some shared elements from the national law that consistently emerge, such as education, safety, safeguarding from harm and exploitation and all that. So even as the national law, the international laws and policies have been put in place, there are dynamics of implementations, like how these laws are being cracked, and which is not just the beginning of the real thing. The real challenge lies in how effective the executions are. And the only way this can be effectively executed is awareness and training. Awareness and training, which is what I'm doing. It is a critical first step in ensuring that professionals interacting with children, like teachers, health workers, law enforcement agents, are aware that these laws and are trained to act accordingly. That is just one of the dynamics and how this can be implemented and executed effectively. Number two is monitoring and review. There should be a review from states to the country, from local government, from family to the organization to which these people are exposed to, these children are exposed to the local government to which they belong, to the state to which they belong, and then to the country to which they belong. There should be monitoring and regular review. This will help in identifying gaps and challenges in current law, and it will facilitate necessary amendment or introduction of new policies that will help, that will promote it, that will make it a better. Then there should be public awareness, because for law to be fully effective, the general public itself must be aware of them. Not just, written it, constitute it, and then close the book. Nobody knows about it. There should be a campaign workshop and educational programs that disseminate information about children's rights and protection mechanisms. That is how these international laws and policies can be effectively executed and implemented. And we have and there are these challenges in enacting the implementing laws. There are challenges. We have the cultural norms. These keep coming because it is what it is. Because in many societies, certain harmful practices against children might deeply ingrain as, they say, it's culture or traditional norms. I mentioned some of them at my last week video. This makes, it's hard for them to be brought to book. They will say it's our culture, or even eliminating the challenges. Another one is resource constraints. In some underdeveloped or developing country, they struggle with resources required for comprehensive child protection mechanism. There are not enough resources, not enough schools, not enough teachers to train children, not enough money, not enough food for child nutrition. There is no enough trained professionals to look into the child right protection, and all that. And this thing ranges from family background to the community, then to everywhere that this child belongs. Then another challenge is the enforcement issue. Even with the laws in place, a lack of will and capacity. That's why I was talking about capacity building. Go to my last video, because this is the last teaching. It will always refer to what I've taught before. A lack of will to want to protect the rights of children is one of the challenges. People know that this is wrong for a child, they still do it. They're not willing to do the right thing. Then there's not enough capacity that can hinder the proper enforcement, leaving children extremely vulnerable. So that is it about the international laws and policies of child protection. And one of the ways that a country or a community can help vulnerable children to protect them from harm, exploitation, and abuse is to create platforms that stand as middle platform to help. For instance, the NGOs are there, and this civil society organization. They are also crucial. They are crucial platform for child protection. They act as the mediators between the governments and the vulnerable children. They advocate for their rights. They provide services, and they monitor their well-being as well. And that is why you, as a person, it is your duty, your responsibility, that with your God-given heart, you should, support this platform like this, like my platform. Yeah, our focus is on vulnerable children, children that have been abused, deprived, neglected, abandoned, or even made vulnerable by circumstances of life are the children we focus on. And what do we need? How do we put their lives on the right perspective? Is through human effort, financial effort, intellectual effort. Then crown it all with God, the one that God is going to bless us with. That is the only way we can help vulnerable children. And that is why you must support child right protection platform, the NGOs, the society organization, the civil society organization. So that's one of the things that I'm going to tell you. I think that's my last word for today on this topic, child right protection and welfare. I will say, be a safe adult for a child. Join hands to create a safe environment for a child, to enable a child to flourish. A safe child today is a safe nation tomorrow. And a country, let me put it this way, I don't want to take it so far. The stability of a country, the effectiveness of the laws of a country is seen on how the children are being raised. You can see the future of the country based on what is being provided for the younger generation today. A country that is going to break down, crumble, will be known in the life of the children, because it is what you put in them that will become of them by tomorrow. So you will know a country that will make it by what they are putting in place in the life of their younger generation. So thank you very much. I am Rebecca Udom, as usual, a family psychology specialist, and also the founder of Rebecca Udom Foundation. And this course has come to an end for today. You won't see me here this month. Till next month, I will come to you with another course. And also, be at large. You are going to see my book on this course so that you can know more. You have to make this a part of you. That even if they wake you up, you'll be able to tell what child right is. You'll be able to prevent it. Sometimes while you keep quiet about something because you don't know what the solution is, you don't know what backed up that thing you're about to utter out. But if you know your rights, you know your responsibility and duty, you speak up. Some of us are angry the way children are being treated, but you don't have what it takes to back up your anger. So that is why that book will be out. When it's out, do purchase it. And thank you very much for always tuning on. I appreciate you. I don't take it for granted. And I will see you by next month. Do you have a wonderful Sunday.